Okay.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Day 10, the very last wonderful hour for our Extreme Law of Attraction Telesummit. I'm Lori Raymond, and Cecily MacArthur and I are just thrilled that you've joined us once again, and for all new people from around the world to join us today. A couple of housekeeping notes. We will work to keep the interview to an hour. You'll be muted for the call, but there will be an awesome opportunity to ask questions at the end, and we'll give you some details upon that. And finally, you can purchase the Extreme Upgrade Package, which includes all 10 of these amazing hours from our expert guides and, of course, some bonuses, which we'll chat about later. By way of introduction, again, I'm Lori Raymond. I'm the founder of Women as Visionaries, and our purpose is to help women reinvent themselves and help them find their dreams through global events like this, education, and Vision Quest travel to places like Peru and Bali. And Cecily, it's just been great to be with you for all these 10 days. And so, Cecily, tell us more about you.
Lori, yes, it has been an amazing 10 days and an incredible teamwork and feeling a little teary at the end here. It's been great. And just to introduce myself, people who don't know me at this point, are Cecily MacArthur. I'm a life mastery consultant and certified life coach and intuitive and transformational teacher and author, and based on our guest today, really dedicated to finding my authentic me, and I've been working on that, and I really do believe there's a huge connection to the law of attraction. So looking forward to talking to Hemal soon.
Yes, great. And Cecily and I, as you know, many of us, we did produce a wildly successful Spring Angel Telesummit. There is a fall one planning. We'll be sharing that with you. But we really wanted to support our global friends at this time of all the shifts and dismantling of the old here in 2011, getting ready for that powerful time in 2012. And with that, we're clear that we wanted to give you the best of the best tools and strategies in the area of the law of attraction, and so this Telesummit was born. And if you would, just take a breath, because we have an intention, and if you would support us in that, which is with the support of the universe, our expert guides, and our extraordinary listeners, Cecily and I are open and willing to allow for the important life-changing messages of this Telesummit to serve 5,001 listeners across the globe for everyone's highest good. So we just breathe that in and support that and see that it's done. We give thanks in advance for that. And with that, let's start to rock the airwaves as we close down these 10 amazing days with Hemal Radia. Hemal is live with us today from England. He's joining us from across the pond. Thank you for technology. And he's going to be sharing his wisdom, living the life of your dreams with the law of attraction. Welcome, Hemal.
Hi, Lori. Hi, Cecily. Great to be here.
Yes, and just real briefly, you're going to know who he is, feel who he is, but he is the author of Find You and You Find Everything. I love Secrets to the Law of Attraction. Not only is he truly a world-renowned expert on manifesting the law of attraction, but he's been described as a super coach and an international speaker. And I think one of the things that just really touched me and endeared me is that he's got a Hemal Radia appreciation group on Facebook that his friends, his clients who basically say he's able to translate and communicate the principles of the law of attraction in a way they understand. I love that. I'm affirming that for myself, Hemal. But he's got his own appreciation group there in Facebook. So with that, Cecily is going to guide us through a conversation about law of attraction with you.
All right, Hemal. And we were teasing you earlier, being our only male participant here, that you have a weighty responsibility to represent the male point of view,
the male gender,
law of attraction here. But I know that
no pressure.
Yeah, I think
Bring it on.
You can handle it. I know you
Bring
can
it
do
on.
this.
We're ready. Bring it on.
So that's definitely, we we love the idea that you are closing with us, and Lori talked about the icing on the cake here. So you do have a unique way of looking at the law of attraction, and that's really why it's really important. Since we've been through each speaker the last 2 weeks have really been bringing a unique view, and yet again your view does help people to see it in a way that they go, oh, okay, now I get it. So that's I'm really excited about having you here with us today. So let's just start talking about living your life, the life of your dreams with the law of attraction. How does that work? How do you put those two together?
Okay. Well, first of all, I'll just say it is an honor and a pleasure, and thank you for having me close up this wonderful Telesummit. So it's an honor to be here. In terms of the law of attraction and living the life of your dreams, and ironically, I mean, when people come to law of attraction, it's usually because they want to attract something, whether it's some money, a job, a partner, health. It's usually for something external, and they want to manifest something oftentimes material, or it could be internal. And normally when people say about living the life of your dreams, it's almost like when I have this house or when I have this condition or whatever it may be. The irony with law of attraction is actually this, that it's actually an internal state, and when you find the internal state, the external manifests. So ironically, if you want to live the life of your dreams, what I would start with suggesting is try and find the life of your dreams in your now. Try and make your now closer to your dream. Most people tend to associate they need to have a certain condition for them to be happy. They need to have the house or the particular partner or whatever it may be. And what I would recommend to people listening here is to say, well, why don't you try and make peace with your now? So the things that disturb you or that you don't want a certain way, ideally soothe your vibration around that, because see, law of attraction works by attraction. You put out a certain vibration and you attract something. So of course, if you start to feel that you're living the life of your dreams right now, what are you going to be attracting? So it's really about putting up the vibration of what you want by genuinely feeling it. It's not about pretending or forcing, because if you pretend or force, the universe is listening to you. The universe is hearing your vibration all the time. You can't fool the universe. You genuinely have to feel like you're living the life of your dreams, and then what will happen correspondingly is the external will take shape, or you're so busy living the life of your dreams internally it won't matter anyway, because either way you still win because you're living the life of your dreams.
So tell us more about the universe hearing us and really feeling that dream. How do people go about doing that? What is the key to that? And
yeah, in fact, that is the key, which is really when you want a certain goal, feel it. I mean, people, when they talk about law of attraction, they talk about attracting things, they talk about visualization, they talk about affirmations and all sorts of techniques. The key thing with the law of attraction, with attracting what you want, is the emotion. So when you want something, feel as if you've already got it. Go out into the future, imagine you've already got it. How does it feel? The more clearly and more vividly you can create that emotional experience for yourself, you are then emitting that vibration. The emotions are an indication of your vibration. So when you're putting out that vibration, the universe corresponds. So the key secret really is feeling it. It's not necessarily the visualization or the affirmation. They're merely tools to shifting your vibration. You attract based on vibration. That's it. It's not, there's no secret technique. It's actually about, well, if there is a secret, it's really about your vibration and your emotions. So everything else, visualization, techniques, affirmations, meditation, other techniques, whatever it may be, they're all tools to shifting your vibration, and your vibration is what will attract a corresponding vibrational match. That's what law of attraction is about.
All right. So we really need some tools to get in touch with our feelings, because that isn't always easy for people to actually to be in that state of actually experiencing that. Can you just give us an example of how to do that?
Sure. Okay. So let's say someone has a goal, either amount of money or they want to have a certain partner in their life. So I would say, okay, assume you have this ideal relationship. Tell me about it. And they'll say, well, it's, he or she is like this, and so on and so on. They may give a description. And I would say, okay, so now imagine you're living this life with them. You imagine you're going out on dates with them. You're going out with them. You're having a relationship with them. How does it feel? What is it about it? And then I would, if I'm interacting on a phone conversation with them, or if I'm with them live, I'll hear what they say, and I'll say, well, I'm not really picking up much emotion. What's really important to you about it? In fact, I actually did a conversation with someone which was recorded recently. It was an actual one-to-one I did with someone on the radio show recently, where I helped her get into a place of, she wanted to attract her husband to be, but she'd been using law of attraction for a few years and she hadn't gotten it. So I agreed to be on the show, and I'd work with her for about 20 or 30 minutes. And when I first told her, what is it that you want? She said, well, I want to go outdoors with him, and I want to walk, and I want to spend time with him, and we'll do this. And I could hear she was telling me this, but I couldn't feel the emotion. It's almost like she for the last few years, she'd almost developed a bit of a script for herself, but I couldn't sense the emotion. And as we interacted, towards the end of that 20, 30-minute interaction, I asked her again, and I said to her, no, what's really important? Pick out one or two things, tell me what's really important. And what actually happened is, I think she said, she said about the outdoors again and the other things, and I said, no, pick one or two really important things and go deeper into it. So, if you want a partner or someone, what is it that you really want? What is it that makes you feel really good about it? Not just why do you want it, not just a passive interest, but what really drives you wild about what you want. You want to tap into the core emotion. So in this case, with this woman, she said, as I pressed her a bit and I just asked her gently, some questions around it, what really, and we could all hear it on the show, her words were, I want a guy that really wants me. I want a guy that wants me to be the mother of his children. And you could hear it in her voice. It was a whole different thing to, I want to go outdoors with him, and so on and so on. So when you want something, tap into the powerful emotions. People want money, but money, a bundle of dollar notes or pound notes is not what they're looking for. They're looking for what money gets them. So if you have money, what will you do with money? And then someone might say, well, I'll take my children on holiday. So, okay, that in itself, okay, what will that give you? How will you feel? So imagine you're out there, you've taken your children on holiday, they're having the time of their lives, and so are you. What are you feeling? What are the emotions? So they may say they feel fulfillment, they feel happiness, they feel satisfaction. Okay, that's the vibrational stuff. That's where you're getting closer to what you want. That's where you need to put your emotions. So it's not just the fact that you want money. It's not just the fact that you want to take your children on holiday. It's the fulfillment, the desire, the happiness, the satisfaction, all the other stuff around that. That's what you work on. It's the emotional power. That's far more powerful than the goal itself.
And that's beautiful. We're really working, I love that you said, sort of gently helping people to reach that emotional piece and let them know that's really the key. That is, it's not the external piece. It's inside is what we're looking for, is that feeling.
Exactly.
And that feeling is what brings it to us. That's beautiful.
If we wanted to get a little bit more spiritual on it, I would just add a little bit very quickly. What I would say is, ironically, if you think of yourself as a spiritual being living a physical life, consider that the goals and desires that you have are just little signposts along your spiritual or physical journey. So in a sense, it's not that the goals are just tools to identify your path, but they're not the path in and of itself. They're actually part of your journey. They're just signposts.
I love that spiritual level. Let's pursue that a little bit more. Say more about the difference between your life path and the things we think we want along the way.
Yeah, well, essentially, I mean, I'm not meaning to plug it, but my book talks a bit more about it, which is that the goals that you have are really signposts. They're really, and if that goal disappears, there'll be another goal. You are a vibrational being. You've come to choose to have certain experiences, which is why you have the desires for the things that you do. You're unique. You're special. You're an aspect of the universe. You're connected to the whole universe, and you're an aspect of it. So the desires that you have is the universe living through you. So the desires that you have are a match to what the universe wants as well. Otherwise, you won't have those desires. The universe gets to live through you, and the desire that you have, it also has a corresponding match too. So if you're wanting to be married to someone, etc., there is a corresponding match out there. Otherwise, the desire does not exist. There is a corresponding match. So it's okay for you to have the desires that you have because it's the universe living through you. Too often people think, well, I'm not, I can't have desires, or I'm not worthy enough, or whatever. No. It's okay. And as you flourish in going after your desires and manifesting them and creating the life of your dreams, the rest of the universe does as well. So in your prosperity and your abundance, you are lifting the vibration of prosperity and abundance, and others find it through you, and the rest of the universe fosters and grows and flourishes as well. So you don't need to be shy. You don't need to hold back. In you flourishing, the rest of the universe does as well. So in effect, you're adding abundance. Well, the universe is already abundant anyway. It doesn't need anything. But in your abundance, you're shining the light for others to find their own abundance. In terms of what we were saying about signposts, etc. So the desires that you have, they're really your path on your spiritual journey, if that's how you want to look at it. So that's why when they talk about detachment and attachment, want your goal so it shines a light, but don't be so attached to it that that's the only light and that's the only way, sort of thing. Be open to the rest of the universe. There are other ways you'll get your goal, other things that will happen along the way. So the goal gets drowned by all the noise. So to answer your question, essentially, it's your quiet state is, in a way, raising your vibration as well, because oftentimes we have a lot of other thoughts during the day, and by meditating, you're quietening your mind, including letting go of resistant thoughts. So what I would say is get yourself into into a meditative state. Maybe have your outcome in mind before you go into it, so you don't have to think too much when you're in it. So in a way, you kind of have it, and then just drop it in there when you've got this quiet state. So it'll be more receptive. That's what I would say, putting it very briefly. So just have it ready beforehand, and just allow it to drop in there gently, naturally. You could find a way that aligns with how you meditate, basically. So you don't need to work too hard, because that will take you out of the meditation, but keep it light and loose, and just allow it to seamlessly blend in there. Yeah.
Focus on a single subject. That sounds amazing. You make it sound so simple.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for
Okay, feel free to be in touch anyway. Yep, thanks.
Thank you.
Great. Thanks, Kevin. All right. Next question. The last 4 digits, 7826.
It
Hello?
must be the vibration, Cecily. It's Sheila. I'm going to make this quick.
All right.
You know, I'm vibrating in such an incredible high vibration of a humanitarian purpose, and I'm totally in the thinking of being a spiritual person, a spiritual being having a human experience. The problem that I'm having is that I'm trying to get to a higher level of people who are vibrating in similar energy, and I'm having a difficult time doing that because some people are vibrating in very much ego.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so how do I get to the higher vibrational people? Is that what you're saying?
How do I get to people that are vibrating in the kind of energy that I'm vibrating in that's very authentic?
Okay, well, first of all, realize, and don't take this sort of the wrong way, take it in an empowering way. In a way, everything we attract is a vibrational match, but put your focus on the aspects that you want more and more of into your life. Whether it's attracting different people, someone's in a relationship and they want to attract better aspects in that relationship, focus on the aspects that you want to attract more and more of, and take your attention away from the ones that you don't want to be attracting too much. So if someone frustrates you, be at peace with it. Like we said earlier, be light and loose. Whereas if you get frustrated about it, you're then bring that discord into your vibration. So it's really about how can you raise your overall vibration more and more, because the universe will soon match that. Other people will leave your experience because they won't be a match to it. You won't like to be around them, and they won't like to be around you because they'll feel you don't understand them because you're in a different vibration. So focus on your own vibration, keep raising it by focusing on more and more of what you want in your life, and take your attention away from the things that you don't want. Just be at peace with it. Let it water off a duck's back. Just let it roll over. Don't put any more emotional emphasis on the things that you don't want. So the sooner you get that out of your consciousness, and more, maybe make lists every day, or 5 or 10 things that you enjoy with the people that you do like being with, and just focus on that more and more. Yeah?
Okay, thank you.
Great.
Thanks. I'm trying to keep it brief.
Water off a duck's back. I'm going to hold that one. All right. We have another person on the phone. That's 5000. What's your name and what's your question for Hemal? Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Hi. Yes, hi. There you go. You have a question? What's your name first?
My name is Maria. My question is in reference to a health issue where I have a difficult time to vibrating, to feeling energetic and with a lot of stamina and endurance when I'm feeling not well.
Okay. So it's like, how can you feel better, or how can you have more energy when physically you're not feeling so good? Is that your question?
That's exactly correct.
Okay, so I have actually, when I work with clients with this, I tend not to sort of guarantee physiological result. I tend to say to people, look, let's work on getting you to a better emotional or a vibrational place, and let's see what happens to your body. I don't want to guarantee stuff, but let's see how it goes. And I've actually worked with people. I worked with one lady who had a brain issue for about 3 decades, and things improved where she could read things she couldn't. So with physiological things, what I would generally say is, this is the thing. When we're in a situation, whether it's physiological, financial, relationship, and something keeps reminding us of what we don't want, it's really about how can you make peace with the situation you have. So, and I mean emotional peace. So, and this is the key thing. So physiological discomfort does not necessarily have to equate to emotional discomfort. Although for most people, of course, when they're not well emotionally, they're not going to feel so good. So it's really about how can you move away your attention from the ailment, the physiological condition, and more, it's like, for example, if you have children, if you focus on what's beautiful about them, does that take your attention away from the physical condition? So find the things in your life, in your day, that you can appreciate. Maybe 3 times a day, make a list of 10 things each time that you appreciate and that you're so happy about. So in a way, your consciousness moves away from the situation. In this case, we're talking physiological. So you're focusing on things that take your attention away from what you don't want and more on the things that you do have. And this is the same for anyone, not just for Maria, but generally, as you focus more powerfully on things that feel good, such as Sheila on the previous question, where if you focus on things that you do like, you do want, or the things that are already good in your life, even if it's just the fact that you have a garden with green grass, or the fact that you have children, or the sun is shining, as you put your attention more and more, your emotional attention more and more on that, your mind can't think of things that you don't like. So as you do that, you'll probably find your emotional condition, your physiological condition will change as well. But it's really about what you do with your emotional attention and your emotional emphasis. It's about being at peace, water off a duck's back of the things that you don't like so much, and more having the emotional emphasis on what you do want. Yeah? Does that help, Maria?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you. All right, we have a great question on the webcast. Rona from the Philippines. She says, "What's your advice to someone like me who is accustomed to feeling the middle way? Like I'm really not sad, but I'm also not happy. In fact, the emotions can even be categorized as indifference."
Right, okay. So if I'm not feeling sad, if I'm not feeling happy, and if I'm indifferent, what would you say? I would say, look for the things in your life that, I won't even just say happy, but what things really make you feel good. So my hunch is, there's a couple of hunches, and I'll try and, as with the previous questions, I'll try and be brief, and I do apologize if I've been too brief on some of the questions, but I'm trying to keep it efficient, so we can answer as many questions as we can. Okay, so what I would say is, 2 things come to mind. First of all, look for the things that maybe you're not yet conscious of that excite you. Sometimes we're not used to looking for things in our life that will drive us wild. If I was to ask you the question, what would you love to do that would absolutely drive you wild? Someone might say, well, I have a day job, but if I could, I'd love to paint, or I'd like to play the piano, or whatever it may be, or I'd like to spend time with my children, or with animals. I'd like to look after animals. So maybe think about the things that would absolutely drive you wild, and just maybe make a list and see what comes up, and look for the things that give you the greatest joy. Sometimes we're not used to looking for those. So that would be one part. The other part, I would say, is if you feel indifferent, are there any emotions that you're having at the moment that might cloud over what might feel good? Sometimes, we may be feeling indifferent, maybe a bit numb, and is it due to other emotions that we're experiencing that we're not conscious of, just clouding over and just masking over what could feel good to us? But again, I think if you start to look for what feels good, you'll find it. So just start to put your antenna out about things. Maybe sometimes, for years you've not allowed yourself to enjoy things that you really would like to, or you've not even thought about it. And just by you putting the intention out, even if you don't think of it right away, you'll start to be more receptive to seeing it more and more in your life, notice it more, and it'll come into your awareness, I would imagine.
And that's great. I think there are a lot of people out there that they're just kind of numb. They're not used to really feeling their feelings. And they're not, and they're not really, they are kind of in that middle place. They're not really unhappy, but they're not really in love with their life either. So that it is a practice. You do have to practice that.
And what I would say is, whenever you find something, don't assume that it has to be the thing. If you find something, explore it, spend more time around it, because what will happen, even if it could be the thing for you, it may not be the thing for you, but as you spend more time around it, it's going to raise your vibration. So as you raise your vibration, you're then going to be able to see things you couldn't from your previous vibration. So even if it's not the thing, it'll allow you to see other things, and you'll attract more of the same. And so you're going to head in that direction, the momentum's going to be there. So it's all good, it all serves you. Explore, play, enjoy it, put your vibration around it, and attract more of the same, and you'll get more and more answers along that road.
That's great. All right, and we have one last question. We're going to sneak it in.
Mm-hmm.
Back on the phone again. Here we have the last four digits is 6952. Hello, what's your name and what's your question for Hemal?
Hi, my name is Melanie, and I am curious about what is up when things are manifesting backwards, like the polar opposite of what you're intending.
How do you mean backwards, for example? You want to give me some examples?
Sure. Basically when you want to create something and you get the opposite of what you want to create. So if you want to create money, you get loss of money, or you want to create going somewhere and you end up sick and stuck somewhere else, and you really seriously like the total opposite of exactly what you were intending.
Okay. And the example you said about money, so if someone wants to attract money and they get not much money, is that what you mean, for example?
Sure. Well, actually, it's more like you want to create money and then you actually have a loss of money as opposed to anything. You end up going backwards instead of forward to where you want to go. Or you want to get healed, you're sick, you don't feel well, you get sicker, that kind of stuff.
Right. What I would say is look at the emotions around it. So let's say you want to attract money, for example. I would ask you, what will happen if you have money? What will happen if you don't have money? What will happen if you lose money? Notice what emotions come up for you. And you want to ideally get flat emotionally about things that don't serve you. So, if you say, oh, I would hate for me not to have or lose money, it would be so scary. Notice where there's more emotional emphasis and deal with the emotions around that. So in the same with the other example as well, I think it's really about, think about what would happen if you have it, what would happen if you don't, or even about the opposite. And obviously, we haven't got time to go into sort of how you'd heal it, but deal with the emotions around it. It's really about the emotional emphasis in those situations. It's almost like sometimes people say fear of success and fear of failure and so on, and those are again just about people attach their emotions to which dynamics really. So it would make sense. I think it's just about where the emotions are in the situation, just about exploring that. And again, feel free to connect afterwards if you want to interact more. But that's my sense. Does that help, Melanie?
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And I can be more specific when I'm thinking. I didn't expect to talk to you, so thank you so much. I'll get back to you.
Thank you.
Great.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, Melanie. All right, and thank you, everyone. And I'm sorry we can't get to more questions, but I think that we did really well. And got as many as we could fit in there. So, Hemal, we'd just like to take this time to have you have some final thoughts of what you'd like to say to our listeners about using the law of attraction to dream big dreams.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think we've covered it really well. I would just say it's really about following your flow. Find what your heart desires. It's not meant to be hard work. It's not meant to be something where you have to force yourself and make it difficult. It's really about being light and easy with yourself. The title of my book is about finding you, which is about it being light and easy. And when you care about yourself, when you love yourself, when you're in that light, nice place about yourself, you're more attractive for the rest of the universe because it responds to you, to that vibration. So I would say, enjoy it. It's not meant to be hard work. Make it light and easy and fun. And I just thank you for having me on the show. It's been an honor, as you said, being the icing on the cake of this Telesummit, of this wonderful Telesummit. And also thank you to the people who shared their questions. Again, I tried to be efficient, so I hope they got value out of it. I did try to sort of get through them quickly so we could get into more. So thank you for all the people that were in touch as well. It was wonderful interacting with them.
Great.
And of course to the two of you, by the way. Let me just emphasize that.
All right. Well, Lori, we are to wrap us up?
Yes. Well, and Hemal, you have done the icing on the cake, and so thank you so much. And later you can tell us what flavor that icing is. But before we do that, really, a heartfelt thanks to everyone who is online, on the computer, and or is listening to this. Cecily and I are just so grateful that you are the reason we did this Telesummit. You are the reason we work endless hours, because it comes from a place of passionate purpose to share these really best of the best tools so that you are living your life, this dream that you deserve. You deserve, and it is your birthright. And Hemal, thank you so much for your passion. Gosh, I want to say, I think you need some coaching about being more enthusiastic. I'm a little bit concerned about you.
Thank you.
But no, truly. So really, just thank you so much. And if everyone could visualize with me, because we've mentioned that every day on our call, if you could envision that we have blazed a trail. to our dreams. And we are at the top of a mountain. Maybe it's Everest, or it's just the highest place that you can visualize. And if you can see our 10 presenters and Cecily and myself and include yourself, I just would like for us to end in that visualization of a circle, and for you to see last week's presenter, where we started with Ava Gregory and her Feel Good Guide to Prosperity, Nan Akasha, who helped us with removing the top 3 blocks to our abundance. Carol Look for her gift around the power of clarity. Sonia Miller, who really gave us great ideas around becoming the ultimate manifestation. And closing up last week was Sierra Goodman, who had her story of how she pounds in 1 year and becoming thin using these very principles. So for me, it has been a joy and a privilege and an honor. And to each and every person, thank you. And thank you to my friend, my colleague, and my co-host, Cecily MacArthur.
Oh, thank you so much, Lori. And then I'm going to keep adding to the circle with week 2, because we did have an amazing week. Just kept followed on with some incredible people, starting with Liz Green on Monday, and she talked about your universal breadcrumbs, and really helped us with even loaves of bread and seeing those, and of course the amazing Mary Morrissey and being able to discover and live your dreams. She was a classic Mary, and it was really a joy. Amethyst got us going with magnetizing our business with our own energy and connecting to the earth and grounding ourselves so that we were fully in our bodies to bring that energy to our business and do business from that point. And, of course, yesterday we had Marie Diamond, and the whole concept of having your environment being so important and knowing you can manifest more when your environment really supports you. Just an amazing aspect. And then, of course, Hemal, thank you so much for today and being that icing and being our final speaker in what is just, for me, emotional, to say the least. It's been a great, and I just feel my heart is so full. We had so many messages from people that we've touched their lives. People have changed their furniture. From Marie, we got things that people have shifted their lives, created new dreams, and it's all across the world. It's just wonderful. I'm speechless. So I just want to say thank you to everyone and all of our guests, and to Lori, who, without this, the two of us doing this together, we really were able to make our dream come true for this Telesummit. So thank you again, and we wish you blessings, and we'll tell you more. Hopefully we'll be having another Angel Telesummit in the fall, and we'll let you know about other projects coming up. So we'll be in touch, and this won't be the end. So thank you all, and blessings. Bye-bye.